Welcome back, everybody. Today we are discussing Severance. The Season 2 trailer just dropped after some cryptic messaging from the geniuses currently creating magic over at Apple TV. They released a teaser yesterday over on Twitter that featured the notorious elevator we have come to know as kind of a totem for the Severance process, a portal from one existence to the other that is protected by the baddest man at all of Lumen.
Mr. Scout.
The teaser yesterday featured a blinking light that, before I even knew this thing existed, shout out my awesome community, was deciphered. This was a Morse code screaming the word tomorrow for all the nerds that knew that something wasn't quite right about this pattern.
Whoa, wow.
Today just so happened to be yesterday's tomorrow, and we have been given a quick trailer and a release date for the new season. The new season will not be coming out in 2024 like many people speculated, myself included, but in January of 2025. I was kind of excited about this note because it gives me more time to finish the deep dives into Season 1. Be sure to subscribe for the most in-depth look at Severance humanly possible. Of course, the fan in me wants Season 2 right now, but I can wait. I can only hope that Ben Stiller, who again is a lifelong friend, does not release the entire season at once, because this is clearly a tense mystery that we want to explore together. The trailer that came out today was less than 30 seconds long and featured a beloved actor right at the end to create some incredible hype for the power that this next season is going to bring. But of course, let's not get ahead of ourselves. The trailer opens with a voiceover, easily the most important thing that they want us to think about in this little teaser.
I give consent for the Lumen Corporation
to sever my memories between my work life
and my personal life.
I am aware that this alteration is comprehensive and irreversible.
This is, of course, a line that we have heard before.
I am aware that this alteration is comprehensive and irreversible.
And hearing it again after knowing how Season 1 ends is meant to elicit an emotional response. It's comprehensive, and more importantly, it's irreversible, this process. Meaning all of the work that they have done, the progress that they made, the glimpse into the real world that the innies gave everything to achieve is going to be reversed. They aren't going anywhere. They consented to an irreversible thing, and Lumen plans on using its haunting power to cover up truths that they have told the world are impossible. PD's entire story was about the Severance process being reversible, and Season 2 will likely reframe on this and start with Lumen needing to address the very public event with Helly. Thankfully for them, it's Audi Helly that is going to come back and realize that her life-ruining innie was up to no good again. She may brush this off and do any number of things to turn this into a joke or lessen its impact, but you know, who really knows what happens here? Like, maybe she gets demoted at the company so that they can save face and make it clear that not even their highest employees or Nepo babies are allowed to joke or outright say that the innies are suffering, because, you know, the company stance is that that is kind of impossible. Because after all, everything is fine here. They could manufacture a moral high road when in reality they only want to keep what really happened a secret, right? The comprehensive part also catches my eye as I'm writing this. Just how comprehensive are we talking? Could that mean more than one innie for each person? Or maybe they already have a procedure in place for when things like this happen. Why do they want to highlight just how perfect this system is after we were made to believe that they took a pretty big L at the end of Season 1? I think to that point, it's again trying to highlight just how little this grand reverse heist actually impacted anybody. Maybe our heroes are just going to be marched back into Lumen by their Audi selves, only to have their innie minds wiped and to be set back up like the pawns in a crazy chess game.
Like an angry fire hose. Oh no!
We see the outside of the building gets a little upgrade along the way, possibly showing some kind of time frame in between, you know, point A and point B. I love this modern look with the blue lights. Perhaps it's because we know what horrors actually happened here, but the appearance kind of leans into the menacing. Mark, Dylan, Irving, and then finally Helly step back into the elevator. We get a good number of shots that we've never seen before. A motorcycle speeding away from Lumen at night, assumingly the same motorcycle going through this tunnel. We see the license plate is LFS, S159, and it is a Kiev license plate. I'm not sure who the rider is, but my first gut reaction kind of leaned towards Mark. We then see Mark slowly coming around this corner for something. He's creeping. There's a darkness behind him, so it feels like he's spying on someone or trying to move throughout the building without being caught again. I would actually love if this was like if this shot was just at a birthday party or something and he's waiting to pop out and surprise his sister. I feel like that would be, such a good use of this. We then see Helly with a speedily walk. Her gown looks like the one that she was wearing the night everything happened, so I'm assuming this was after Audi Helly took back control. I'm assuming she's frustrated or walking with some kind of purpose, likely going to get some answers from Mr. Milchek, who should have never let this happen, who is kind of like on the hook for this and will ultimately have to pay or make up for it in season 2, right? We know that he is unsevered and has talked to Helly before when her procedure was first getting started.
I'll be upstairs after to let you know how it went.
Sorry if I freak out on you a little.
So she could be marching to go talk to him, or as kind of a great way to introduce the next tier of bad guy for our heroes to face off against, she could be marching to chew out someone that we have not met before. The manager of the manager that should be more strict with what happens on this floor, who would also be responsible for everything that has happened and why this ultimately just happened to her. We then see Dylan looking rather confused as a door we have never seen before opens. This could be anything, but it's definitely the severed version of himself inside of the Lumen building because of the blue badge. We then see Mark working on his cardio, possibly running from something. This looks like the lights from the Lumen parking lot, so I'm assuming that he's there. I'll let you speculate on if he's really excited to get to work or just really stressed about leaving it. We then see Miss Cobell staring into our souls. Helly crawling on the floor on her hands and knees through the severed hallways. We see 3 figures running through snow, and this is, I think, my favorite part of this whole thing. They have long shadows attached to their feet, and it seems like this could be the graveyard, and it's either early morning or late afternoon. The first video that I made about Severance, I talk about the framing of the houses and the graves here. Like, the graves lead to the houses of the dutiful Lumen workers and how that could point to more insidious things than we really know. Like, not letting the dead rest, which is what could be happening with Mark's dead wife here.
He's alive!
Something is also going on with the colors here. The leading man is damn near completely white, and 2 completely black figures give chase or just try to keep up. White and black are often used as these binary things, good and evil, right and wrong. This could be anything, but these look like trench coats, so I'm reading this as a hero being chased by the Matrix people. I don't see any guns or weapons in their hands, and they are heading for uneven terrain. Aside from their movement speed being cut in half, they may need to roll some dexterity checks, but D&D jokes aside, maybe that's the point of this shot, right? Heroes being chased into the unknown, or the difficult, or the road less traveled. We then see this flipbook sketch of Christopher Walken, likely done by Irving. I think these are also his fingers, but if I had to guess what this like 3-frame shot means, I think it's Audi Irving being perplexed by his innie's infatuation with this man. Sexuality is something that this show isn't shying away from, and I do expect to see some tip touching in season 2. Looking at you, Ben Stiller. But the best part of this innie relationship that we established in season 1 is that we don't know, we have no idea if Audi Irving is gay. We hardly know anything about this man, literally less than everybody else, and some of the stuff that we do know just begs more questions. So Audi Irving, seeing that his innie has taken the time to draw the same man over and over and over again with great detail to create a flipbook of him likely just smiling at the person who flips it, I feel like that could be an interesting thing to explore. But again, this is only 3 frames long. It could be anything. Then we see Irving laughing with the woman that worked with Bert. So I feel like it does kind of align with what I talked about, but just it doesn't matter. I'm hoping that they're talking about the wonderful things they remember about Bert, but this is pretty impactful. This could have some real power if Irving does get reset and is interacting with this woman again. Would she also have to be reset, or the entire floor? Like what's so funny? We see Mr. Milchek running, which I'll never get tired of, and then we come to the shot of Regabi. We see a clear bag for an IV drip. This is likely relating to the Severance procedure, as she was the one doing them, and the one that undid it for Petey. The light here seems more operating from the shadows than medical facility, but I'm not really sure. It looks like she is holding a pair of jumper cables or something. It gets cut off here. She turns this dial here in the next shot, so maybe that's accurate, but the implications of that are quite insane. We don't know how Petey was ultimately unsevered, but we do know that it did not go well, and it was pretty brutal on his body, and it might not have happened. This might have been the first time this has ever happened. So these being jumper cables could align with that, though I do hope that it is something else for Dylan's sake, right? He's a sensitive boy. Him getting electrocuted to remember that he has children, that I don't want that for him. We then see them all back in the office, but they turn to see something where their desks should be. It could just be their desks, or it could be another dance party. I'm hoping for the best on that one. Then we get the title being decoded from random letters. But wait, there's more, because the first thing this string spells out is C, which immediately brings my mind to this.
So we send the probes down, they send us the data coded, we sense what's eels, and then we tell the probes what to blow up.
Because we still need to know what macro data refinement actually does. It feels like it is water related for a few different reasons that I addressed other times, but water is truly our most valuable resource. It would make sense, this ultimate powerful company, much like the spice of Arrakis, right? Like this is the Baron right here. Here is a complete list of all the stages through this title flip, but C was really the only one that caught my eye. Which brings us to our final shot, our Game of Thrones gladiator and the all-time golden-hearted goddess that you see right here. Her look here is intimidating. It feels like she is taking over for Mr. Milchek after he let the worst thing humanly possible happen. Maybe they finally hired a security team. Maybe she's the replacement for Mr. Grainer. Actually, I feel like that could be it. It could be any number of things, but this headscarf I think is a big clue. This screams janitorial to me. We know that the show and Severance and Lumen like to do these fun things with the naming. For instance, the break room is actually a torture chamber and not a place to relax for 15 minutes more than you should because your boss already left work. Her being the person that cleans up messes, right? In more ways than one would be pretty neat to see, right? Like that's just, she's such a force. She could be replacing Miss Cobell now that I think about it as well. Whatever it is though, it's power. I hope it's power. I want to see her. I mean, maybe it's not. Like, honestly, what if she's like truly just a good person and I'm just like reading this so wrong, right? She is big, she is strong, she has such a powerful presence, and I cannot wait to see her in action. She says that they should have left, and dear God, I mean, the depth there, right? Like, she is the voice of authority. They should have left. But I will let you speculate in the comments below anything else that is going on here, and ultimately what season 2 is going to look like. It really does feel like their outside selves march them right back in, and their attempt will minimize, right? It is going to feel small in comparison to whatever happens in season 2. Undermining the weight of the actions already done is a great way to make the actions ahead feel that much grander, and I commend this 30-second clip that somehow we have made a conversation for 6 minutes. Like, I love this. This show is one of the best of its generation, and I cannot wait to dive into this with all of you. But with that, we come to the end of the video. Please be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and finally subscribe for more videos just like this. This is a great conversation. I'm so glad to do it with all of you. Thank you for watching, and thank you to everybody over on Patreon. Much love, everybody, and I cannot wait to talk to you all again soon.